and welcome to It's Story Time, kids. Look, it's so cold today in my car and I had to go to the shops. So hopefully I've got enough time on what's left of my lunch hour to read a book for you. I've got here 3 books. Oh, can you even see them? What's happening to my camera? Can you see that? The Henry Adventures, that's book 3. The Henry Adventures, that's book 2. And the Henry Adventures, that's book 1. We're going to start with book 1 today, but I'm hoping it's just difficult for you to see it because it's white. I don't know if I need to do something with the camera. Let's see how it goes. Oh, you can see that now. The Henry Adventures book 1. Henry goes to London. Actually, I'll let you look at the picture and then I'll do the reading because there's a lot of text on this page. Henry was a helpful little vacuum cleaner. He lived and worked at St. Chad's School, keeping it spotlessly clean. Henry loved his job. He was very happy and always smiling. As well as looking after the classrooms, Henry also had the special job of keeping the school bus extra clean. This meant he got to go on many wonderful days out. Today was an especially exciting day for Henry and the children as they were going on a trip to London. Henry and the children boarded the coach, and soon they were on their way. As they journeyed, they watched as the countryside started to change into tall buildings, and then into busy streets. In a short time, they were in the centre of the city, and it was time to explore. Henry was filled with excitement. First, they went on a ride. First, they went for a ride on an open-top bus tour. I got that completely wrong. I'm going to start that page again. First, they went for a ride on an open-top bus. Henry got a special view of the city as they drove around the bustling streets. There were so many things to see. All too soon, it was time to leave the bus for their next stop, the History Museum. Oh, wow. What is that? I think that's Trafalgar Square. And in the background, is that the National Gallery? Is that right? Unless, wait, no. That can't possibly be the History Museum. That doesn't look familiar to me as a history museum. I'm sure that's Trafalgar Square. But they're going to the History Museum, which is here. The History Museum, or rather the museum, was full of very old and interesting things. Henry was especially excited to see a huge dinosaur skeleton, which is there. As he got closer, maybe if I move like this we can read better. As he got closer, he saw his friend Charles cleaning around the bones. Charles was thrilled to see him. "This is a great place," beamed Henry. "You're very lucky to work here." "Yes," said Charles, "it's a very special place to work." He then showed Henry round all the wonderful objects he got to clean daily. Henry wished he could clean somewhere as exciting one day. Soon it was time to say goodbye for their next stop, the Tower of London. That's that page. And there's that page. The large castle was where the Queen kept her crown jewels. As they entered the special jewel room, Henry spied his friend George cleaning around a knight's armour. George had also spotted Henry, who waved him over. "Wow, do you get to clean the whole of the castle?" asked Henry. "Yes," said George, "from top to bottom every day. It's a busy job, but it's so much fun." Henry wished again that he could clean somewhere as exciting one day. Soon it was time to say goodbye for their last stop, the London Eye. Going up in the huge wheel meant that they would be able to see the whole of London. As Henry and the children entered the large glass capsule, Henry met his friend James cleaning inside. "Henry, how good to see you," smiled James. "Come inside. It's lovely and clean for you. Enjoy your trip." As they started to move through the sky, Henry got a full view of London. It was magical. He felt sad that he would soon be leaving this amazing city. He thought about how lucky his friends were to clean in such special places. Before leaving London, the teacher, Mrs. Millfield, had one last surprise for Henry and the children. They would stop at the palace to watch the Queen return home. Everybody was very excited. As Henry neared the palace gates, he could see the special red carpet being rolled out. But there seemed to be a problem. "This is a disaster," gasped the butler. "It's covered in dirt. What are we going to do?" "Can I help?" said Henry. "Can I help?" asked Henry. The butler looked down, first puzzled and then delighted. "A vacuum cleaner!" cried the butler, clapping his hands with glee. "Oh yes, please. We're in an awful pickle. Her Majesty will be here any second, and the carpet is so dirty." "I'll get to it straight away," beamed Henry. Henry set his motor to full power and started to happily whiz around, removing all of the dirt. In no time at all, Henry had cleaned all of the carpet, leaving it as good as new. He had a lot of work to do, didn't he? "Oh, well done, Sir Henry," applauded the butler. "Her Majesty will never have seen the carpet so clean." Henry felt the proudest vacuum cleaner ever. Just then, the palace gates started to open to reveal the tip of a big, shiny car. Henry felt the proudest vacuum cleaner ever. I've read that bit. "Quick, this way," signalled the guard, pointing to a sentry box. "We all need to be in place, ready for Her Majesty's arrival. You already look like a guard with your red coat and big black hat. Just stand in there as still as you can." Henry did as the guard told him, standing as still as a statue. As the Queen walked up the red carpet, Henry stood perfectly still, wearing his best smile. As she passed him, he let out a huge sigh of relief. But maybe just a little too soon. The Queen stepped back and took a surprised look at him. She paused for a second, turned her head towards her butler, gave him a nod, and then continued her walk. Henry was confused. Was the Queen unhappy with him? "What did I do wrong?" Henry asked sadly. "What did I do wrong?" asked Henry sadly. The butler and the guard came rushing over, but instead of looking angry, they both laughed. "Nothing," explained the guard. "We could tell Her Majesty was very pleased by the beautiful, clean carpet. You looked exactly like a real guard, but there was just one thing we forgot to tell you. Guards on duty aren't supposed to smile, but you always have a big smile on your face, Henry, so the Queen didn't mind making an exception for you. I need to get back to Her Majesty straight away, but I must thank you again, Henry, for your help today. Next time you're in London, you must visit us again," congratulated the butler. As the guard stepped back into his sentry box, Henry could see Mrs. Millfield waving to him from the bus. He wheeled over to her, full of excitement. "Wow, Henry," she said, "you did such a good job there. I guess you'll not want to clean St. Chard's anymore." The palace was so exciting, but I don't think I would be able to not smile, laughed Henry. "I'd love to visit London again one day, but I really do like cleaning our school, I promise." The next day, Henry was back happily cleaning one of the classrooms when he started to cough. He coughed and spluttered and sneezed until a stone rolled out onto the floor. The stone sparkled. Henry looked closer and realized it was a large diamond. Wow! He must have sucked it up when he had cleaned the red carpet. It was a crown jewel. He admired the precious stone. He knew it must be returned to the Queen straight away. He beamed an even bigger smile. He beamed an even bigger smile than usual, as this meant he would be returning to London much sooner than he thought. That's the end. The end. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that. Look on the back. We've got all the vacuum cleaners. George, Hetty, Henry, James and Charles. I think I said in another video that we actually do have a Hetty and a Henry at home. I don't know if any of you watching this have a Hetty and a Henry at home. So that was book 1. Like I said, I will be reading, hopefully with fewer mistakes, book 2 and book 3. But right now, I definitely have to go back into my office, get on with my job. So thank you for joining me. I really do enjoy reading to you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you for book 2. Bye, kids.